Nights with Leo Parnifer.
0800 844 747.
Magic Talk.
And we are back. Good to have you along. It is Wednesday evening at Magic Talk. My name is Leah. I'm with you through till 11. It is 9:05 right now. But with me for the next hour, as we do this time every Wednesday, Max Whitehead from the Whitehead Group. Max, good evening.
Oh, Leah, great. So good to be here. It's Wicked Wednesday.
It is Wicked Wednesday,
yeah,
yes.
To talk about work. It's all the W's, isn't it? With Whitehead. That's me.
Whitehead. So Max is here for you. He's a employment relations expert. So if you have any queries, questions about your either current employment or maybe something that you're still trying to get from a former
Yeah, we
employer.
just have a talk about that, didn't we? When the, when the adverts are on.
Now's your time.
Yep.
0800 844 747. Of course, you can text in 3920, but it's always better to have a chat to Max. He doesn't bite unless you ask nicely. And he could help you out. And
Yep.
as I've said, it's
and
free.
I love to. So if you've got a restraint of trade, equal pay, those issues are pretty hot at the moment. Fixed-term employment contracts, but the other thing is bullying. You're getting a hard time at work, or actually family members. I usually get a mother or father or something rings me up and I go, well, how can I help you? Well, it's not actually me.
Oh,
Or husbands or wives who see their partner just getting bashed and coming home looking all humble
Yes.
and terrible. It breaks their heart. And they know that's not the real thing, so they just really want some help.
I think it must be hard though. When you are at a job that you're afraid that if you do say something, you're gonna lose your job.
Absolutely.
And it seems at the moment there's a lot of jobs that a lot of employers are taking that kind of 3-month working. They get that 90 days, and then they're moving on to the next person.
I got a client who rang me even tonight saying they are not happy with my performance. They're about to give me a warning.
Not happy with your performance.
No. It was just this worker, and he's brokenhearted. He said, Max, I just want to go, but I don't know how to go about this. And what should I do? I said, if I can, because they're attacking him. He said, and I'm going, well, you do this and get stuck in, and you look after yourself, and there's things that they're not doing properly. And he goes, I don't want that confrontation. And I know that as soon as I go at them, they're going to have me out of there like a rocket. So he said, no, my reputation's ruined, my career's ruined, well, and my family, I've got to keep a family. What do I do? And you could see the pain they're in and the dilemma of actually frightening or getting that employer offside.
Have you come across a lot of cases where once, you hit a certain age, employers are actively trying to move you out? Or...
Yeah, it's usually, what are you, 46? Yeah, about
I'm 35.
35, yeah, about 35. You're a goner. You're a
No,
temporary
I'm way
employee.
past then. So, I mean, I've had stories where obviously once, in fact, I was driving around this week to talk back, and an employer, I don't know, I can't, because I'd come in on the end of the conversation, and an employer rang up and said, yeah, look, I'll be honest, once they hit 65, we
They're
want
gone.
we want them out. We want them to get their super and leave because I just don't want them
Generally
here.
mid-50s, and it depends on the individual, but some
Mid-50s.
people look old for their age. Their employers eyeing them up then to say, well, how long have they got? And I tell you what, once you get to that age, over 50, go back and try and get a job, you're looked upon as, no, you're no good because you only be here 5 minutes, or you haven't got the energy, or you're not creative enough, or you're too set in your ways, you won't know IT. There's all these excuses.
But then they're crying out for experience.
Exactly. The EMA Association, they're working hard at this. And what they're frightened of our future, because a lot of the population's going to be older. And with that, they want to actually to see more and more people, really engaged at an older age. And what they're saying, well, these guys have got skills. And a lot of them are like, there's a lot of people in the older age who are prepared to learn still and get into it.
Is there the legalities around ageism? Can you, if you've got a feeling, say you're 55, late 50s, and you feel that you're being shown the door, is what can you do?
Yeah, and of course, Leah, you haven't said it, but the fact is you can't discriminate on the basis of age, but it does happen. So if you feel that you are getting edged out for that reason, you can come and see me, or come and get some help and support. My view is this: if that employer thinks that you're actually gone past your use by date, then you might as well leave. because they're discriminating against you anyway. And you've got a miserable time ahead of you.
Yeah, I know. Then you're thinking, though, I'm 55 or 56.
There's nothing
what
else to
do
go
I
to.
go and do?
Well, a lot of them, I actually, sorry to interrupt you,
No, keep
because there's something coming out. Well, so a lot of people, I recommend that they go and start their own business, because at that time they've got some wisdom, they've got some age, they probably haven't got the energy, but they might be able to get some young stuff in there and show them the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, so because New Zealand's made up of small businesses now. It's not like only 7% of New Zealand businesses have more than 20 staff. So there's a lot of contractors, a lot of little people. So if they could break away and get on a little contract and start it going, I mean, you'll find shops now will employ a contractor to come and mind the shop. You know, and really that person's just a shopkeeper who's working for them, but they'll do it under contract.
And do you see a lot of people doing that at the later stage in life, just suddenly starting a business or starting out something
What's happening
small?
more and more is the older people, with the help of their employers, saying, can I go down to a 3-day week? And because they've got more energy on a 3-day week than dragging through the 5-day. And employers are actually accommodating that more and more. And, of course, our whole dynamic of workplace is changing. People are working from home more. Those sort of factors can happen. I'm lucky I've got a young voice, so people think I'm younger than I am. So there's people out there like that who can get away with working a lot longer because they're actually behind a phone or behind a keyboard where they actually no one can see how old they are.
Do have a text for you, Max. This is from Annan. Do you cover personal grievance? My last employer gave me 6 misconducts and 1 serious misconduct from May 2018 to December 2018. Hence, I resigned.
Well, you're lucky to still have a job. 6 misconducts and 1 serious misconduct.
Ruh-roh.
Serious misconduct is usually you're gone on the day. If it's really serious. So he survived. Yeah, I think good idea you're gone.
No, well, he's saying, can he do a personal grievance against them? I think this is the question.
I see. So he's saying they're all unjustified.
Well, he's saying, hi, Max, do you cover personal grievance? My last employer gave me 6 misconducts and 1 serious misconduct in the space of May to December 2018. But then he resigned.
Yeah.
So would he ever...
The quick answer is I've been doing personal grievances for the last 30 years, and I do them every day. So, yes, the answer to that is yes. If you've gone beyond 90 days, so if it was over 3 months ago that you resigned,
December,
then you can't go back.
Oh.
Has he got a date on there?
No, December 2018.
Oh, no way. Wow. What are we now?
What are we, 19? Oh, 19.
No, you might just creep. Depends in December when it is. Because where are we now? March.
Apparently, no. Has until March 19th when his 90 days are up. Just put the last bit of the text through.
Oh,
and then it would have been better to call my friend than Max and I to stumble through this.
Well, you need to act quickly if you want to. And, again, you come and see me, but go and see someone else. But certainly get that PG letter out and gone. Okay. Yes, you can do it. And, yes, I do those things. Give me a call tomorrow, 0800 24/7 9393.
But I tell you what, Max, before you give off all your details, we need them to come and ring us now instead of just sending a text because then we stumble and mumble over them.
I'm going to get a warning.
You are. Now I'm giving you a warning. I've got Max Whitehead here from the Whitehead Group.
Before he goes home.
And you've got any questions regarding your employment issues, it can be anything. It can be holiday pay. It can be grievance. It can be misconduct. It could be... anything.
It'd be nice to talk to that person. Be interesting to know what the misconduct was all about.
Yes. Give us a call, 0800 844 747.
Nights with Leo Parnova.
0800 844 747.
Magic Talk.
And I'm here with Max Whitehead from the Whitehead Group. He is an employment relations expert. So as we do every Wednesday at this time, if you have any questions regarding your employment, something that has happened, give us a call, 0800.
And it's free.
And that's the beauty of it.
I know.
Because you were so expensive.
I was trying to get Leah to convince her that I could charge, but
no, you can't.
She threatened me. So I thought, no, I better not.
Hey, listen, if I do this for free, you do it for free. 0800 844 747 is the number. Adrian, hello.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello. Hi, Max. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, recently I applied for a job as a truck driver.
Yep.
And I had my Class 4 licence, and the company that employed me knew that, and they said, well, look, we'll we'll put you up to your Class 5 licence.
Yeah.
And 2 months into my 2 months into my contract, I had a motorcycle accident.
Oh, no.
I came off and I broke my collarbone, and it needed surgery to be screwed and plated and.
How long did that knock you out of work for a while? Did it?
About. I wasn't given a full clearance to return to work, and be 3 months.
Wow. Yeah, that wouldn't make your boss very happy either. He's got to replace you for that time, doesn't he? It's always scary when that happens.
Yes. Well, right from the day I had my accident, I stayed in touch with them and, kept them up to date the best I could.
Yep, good man. That's what you're supposed to do.
And I had the fleet manager turn around and say to me, look, we're not sure we can guarantee your job at the end of this.
Wow.
I had the owner's wife say exactly the same thing to me later on, as well as the owner's son.
But you've survived. You're driving a truck now, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm hands-free.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't mean that. I mean, you kept your job.
No, I think you meant you've got a job.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Well, with all the uncertainty and them saying,
Oh, you quit?
we can't. I don't know. I guess I have a reputation. I actually had another 2 job offers while I was convalescing.
Yep. Well, I know truck drivers are hard to find, and particularly good ones, so it's not surprising you could get a job anywhere. It's amazing they knocked you over as well, because, I mean, they will find it hard to actually replace you, so it is interesting. But let me carry on though, Adrian. They do have a right, if an employer does have a right, if you're off for a long period of time, and your recovery is dubious, but that's not what you've told me so far. They can say, sorry, the job's gone after a prolonged period. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
How long's prolonged?
Well,
determined by them.
Yeah. Well, it depends on all circumstances.
Sure.
But what they should have done, Adrian, is come to you and said, what's the prognosis? Are you going to have any relapses? Are you going to be 100%? Did they do that with you?
Well,
you quit anyway, didn't you?
Well, in the end I did, because of all the, I have to make a living to survive, as do all of us. And, all the uncertainty was, I was finding it quite distressful.
Yep. You're on ACC, obviously, were you?
Yes, I was.
Yep.
Yeah. And ACC were really good.
Yep.
But the thing is now, the previous employer is trying to recoup the cost of my licence back off me.
Aha, here we are. We've come to the crux of it.
This is it.
And how much is that, Adrian?
Be around $1,000.
Yeah, right.
Okay, is there anything in your contract that said that they could recoup it?
No.
Right. Well,
So they can't?
No, they can't. If they gifted that to you and there was no preconditions to it, there's no way. You can see they've spent $1,000 on you investing in for another.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't mean to fall off his motorbike.
No, of course not. And plus, they gave you signals that you were going to lose your job anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't feel any obligation, Adrian. You must be a good guy, pretty ethical, to be sort of worrying about this. But certainly, no, they can't force you to part with any money for that. Are they asking you for it?
Yes, and withholding my holiday pay.
Oh, no, whoa.
And the other shoe drops, ladies and gentlemen. Thud.
Adrian, that's a real shocker. Okay, I can give you some good advice for that. If they don't come up with that pay, you can sue them. So they can't touch your holiday pay. So what I would suggest you do, you write to them, tell them they've got 7 days to get that pay to you. Otherwise, you'll take legal recourse.
Okay. Look,
and give us a call, or I can even tell you how you can do it yourself, possibly. But there will get a point if they're still refusing. You might have to take legal action and get them before the Employment Authority.
Okay.
Good on you, Adrian.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with that. So there we go.
What a story. It took
What
a while
story.
to come
I
out,
know,
though,
it
didn't
wasn't it? It was like a movie. It was
Unfolding
it was
slowly.
the twist at the end that got us. So they can't withhold holiday pay. That's illegal.
It's illegal.
And as long as it wasn't written in the contract that he paid back that $1,000.
He didn't have to pay them
He doesn't have
anything
to
at
do it.
all.
Good.
And the holiday pay, even if you do owe them money, the employer can't touch it. I mean, they can't stop.
Take it out of the holiday pay.
Yeah, they
Yep.
have to pay that holiday pay, even though you might have signed off a contract that I owe you $2,000 for a loan you gave me. They still have to give you that holiday pay.
9 here with Max Whitehead. And Christine, your question for Max?
Hi, Christine.
Yeah, hi. This is say a Christchurch, and it's the old-fashioned telemarketing. So telemarketing business in Christchurch,
Yeah.
you work really hard for the month because I'm very competitive.
Yep.
And I was making several appointments, and I know they were making sales. And if for some reason had to leave, and they paid out at the end of the month, and they didn't pay out. So how do you get that sales money?
Well, have you got evidence? Have you got proof that you actually got those sales?
Well, I did a page and a half. I mean, I was very competitive. We're making 9, 10 appointments per day, and yes, they were going to the heat pump.
Yep, good on you, though.
So,
Well, no, and of course it makes you more determined because you did it for a reason, not for love, didn't you? You needed that money.
that's right. I
Yep.
want the money, and they didn't pay out. So how do you get it?
Right, and you don't work there anymore?
Well, due to the new guy, every Wednesday has if you don't say good night to him, which I didn't, next day you're pulled in before they start.
What?
And you're down the road because they did it to another guy who's there because the start of the week is a Wednesday.
You're kidding me.
So they get rid of people before the start of the week.
Oh.
But I did very well. I made a lot of, I was
Yeah.
making big money.
Yeah.
And because of this fella, how do I get that money?
Yep, I'll help you. Geez, Christine, you've got energy in your voice. I can imagine you working hard. I
She
can just
could
hear
sell.
it.
She could sell to me.
Yep, and I guarantee he'd be frightened of you. Anyway, what the thing to do? Were you an employee or a contractor?
No, I'm employee, PAY, just because the guy and I kept pulling me out of the room. I've been experienced outbound caller for years. He came along, I don't believe he knew A from B, this new fella, and he just kept hammering, and then next minute, I saw he did it to the other guy.
Right,
They pulled another guy out.
Christine, let me load this gun up because I reckon you're going to fire them. What you got to do now is give them you write to them and say you want your wage and time records, all the records in relation to your sales, and you want that information. Give them to the end of the week or perhaps next week, and saying because you're seeking legal assistance on this matter, because you've been robbed of your earnings. Now, did you have an employment agreement which did set out your incentives? You know, the payment levels.
Yep.
You've got that. You keep it safe, girl, because that's your saving grace.
I haven't got that because I just ripped it up with. But I mean, the point is, I worked for them for a month. I worked really hard. It was a 40-hour week. I was competitive with all the others because I went for the money. And then this fella decided he didn't like me like he did to the previous guy. He got rid of him on a Wednesday because of the start of the week.
And that's the day I'm on the radio, so, you know, good stuff. At least you can talk to me then when you don't work. I'm pleased. But no,
Okay,
I'm not pleased for you, Christine.
so what has she got to do, Max?
Righto, Christine, this is what you do, is write to them and say that you want the wage and time records. Tell them that you're going to seek legal recourse. And once you get those records, that's your evidence to go forward and lay a claim. And if he doesn't give them to you, again, you've got rights. For the wage and time records, he's got a mandatory obligation to hand them over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Good
Let
on
me
you.
know.
Good on
Ring
you,
us back
Christine.
next week and tell us how you
Yeah.
get on. I'd love to know your story, Christine.
Yep. Oh, she's gone, but boy, she was fired.
Oh, yeah, she's a ball of fire.
Boy, I
Good
can
on
imagine,
her.
yeah. And what? Because the guy, he gets rid of you because if you don't say good night.
Oh, it's like saluting the officer, isn't it?
Yeah.
You didn't salute me, Private, you're fired. God.
27 past 90 with Max
Oh,
Whitehead.
that was fun, that one.
Oh, wow. 0800 844 747.
I'm pleased it's radio.
And, yeah, same. Andrew, good evening. What's your question for Max?
Hello, Andrew.
G'day, Max. I love this segment. I've never heard anything like this on the radio, so credit to you both.
Oh, great. Well,
I know
I'm pleased you joined us.
It's helping people, but it's actually more entertaining than anything I
Oh,
think.
that last lady, man, I'd hate to be in her way. I think.
Oh, the car. Yeah, I'm not surprised she got screwed over.
I reckon they'll be frightened of her, but when
Bless
she
her.
comes up and wants that money, I reckon that she'll get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's happened to you, Andrew?
Well, I'm just intrigued. I'm fortunate enough to work in an industry that's, I guess you could call it a passion industry, a desire industry. So there's more people that want the jobs than those who actually have jobs. So.
Oh, you're a radio announcer.
I can't say.
Can't say what he does. All right.
Wow, I'm
Wink,
wondering
wink,
if
nod,
that
nod.
I don't really want to say. So
Okay.
I'm just intrigued. What is the legalities around internships and working for free? Just because I went through a lot of that myself, and I didn't care at the time because I was young and naive. But looking back, goodness me, I just handed myself over to them and said, "Righto, make me work."
This does sound like the radio industry. So a lot of these glamour industries do this. So what they'll say, if you want a break, come on in and work for nothing. The answer to that is very simple. If there's commercial value in the work you do for them, then you should be paid for it.
And is that say if there is, then is that illegal?
Illegal. If there is, yes, you could raise it and say, look, I'm actually doing work which is worth value to you. I should be paid.
That's bold. That's bold. When you're like 19, walking into your boss, just slinging it around the room and going, "Righto, boy."
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you a story. The
It's-
lady in front of me, she did that when she was 17. She went from school,
Yeah, I did
knocked
that.
on the door. You told us this a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah. That's how I got my
Did
job.
you work for nothing, though?
No. Well, I didn't realise that they'd actually put me through the government on a
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
what is it? Not like an apprenticeship, but it was a minority.
Internship?
Paid, like an internship,
Yeah.
but they didn't tell me. So they got me for about $8 a week for about 3 months or something stupid.
Wait.
Yeah, but I was getting rocking $109, but the government was paying $100 of it. Well, Andrew, I suppose because you can't quite tell us what the industry is, it's like, look, what Max is saying, yes, legally you can say to them, look, I'm giving you my time and you're making money from it, but then I'm gathering from what you're saying, they'll go, well, look, there's more fish out there that will do this for free. Is that correct?
Yeah, and there is definitely, within the industry, there's definitely a feeling of, well, you got to, get in line and you've got to not cause a fuss. And it almost feels like there needs to be a union for this industry because I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good, a good run at it. It's still going strong for me now, but man, oh God!
Imagine if you call. I mean, all it needs is 20 signatures on a document, and you've got a union. But imagine if you put that together, you wouldn't have a job for long, would you?
No, not at all. So it's murky. It's real murky. I think. I can't tell you. I do work in radio. It's just.
Oh.
And I'm not bitter about it. It's at all. It's just merely. It's something I've observed. I'm like, that's some shady shit there.
Well,
this is a shady, murky industry.
Well, it is. It's like the acting and those sort of TV. Yeah, people will go along there to do anything.
They want to be in telly.
Yep, and get that big break. So, I mean, it's very tempting for employers to abuse and use it. I must admit, even in my role, I had a young lawyer who just come out of a young lawyer. She came out of university and said, "I'd like to work for you for nothing."
Oh.
And I said, and she was great. I said, "You can come work for me, but I'm going to pay you."
Yes, because I don't want to get caught in a murky trap
situation. And
well,
she was good value.
I guess something interesting. I've just had a thought now. If you are, say, an entrepreneur who's going out, there's no guarantee that you'll make money from the start either. So I guess to a degree there is a case to be made that why should you be guaranteed early on when you are taking a risk and everyone's taking a risk? Do you see my point?
Yeah, I do. Look, we covered this off a couple of weeks ago, but what we're saying is, like some of those, the cafes do it. So they might say, come in and we'll trial you for 3 days or 2 days. And the courts have dealt with that, and they said in those 3 days, if there was any commercial value in what you're doing, then you've got to, that's wages. So you have to pay that as a wages.
Yep. So you can't do that now, basically.
No.
So you can't come in and work for free in a cafe for a day.
Well, you can, but long as there's no commercial value to it. So
how do you put what do you say commercial value? So
if you're making profit,
they're making profit from you, obviously serving people in XYZ.
Well, I had a lady who's got a retail. She could be listening. She listens a little, but she's got a retail shop, and what she wants to do is to trial people.
Right.
And I gave her that advice. So now we've written a contract for her where nothing that those people will do in that day, I think it's 2 days she wants to trial
Will
them,
make-
will make the work any value. So they're going to have pretend customers come in and put them through some
clever.
trials, and then people coming up and complaining when they're not actually customers.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, Andrew, thanks for your call, buddy. Got to go. Very interesting. What, glamorous? I was thinking radio? No, can't be. It's coming up
It is
20...
glamorous. Well, I see it that way.
Yeah, I've got no shoes on, so glamorous. 27 to 10, I am here with Max Whitehead and Brent and Melville. Stay where you are. We'll be with you shortly. We're just updating now with Aroha.
Nights with Leo Parnapa.
0800 844 747.
Magic Talk.
And in the next 25 minutes, your chance to get any question that you've got about your employment, former employees, or you're an employer. I mean, Max doesn't discriminate.
No, I don't.
He's not picking on employers.
Bring it in. I'd actually quite like to hear from employers,
Yes.
but on this show, I think, because we get a lot of employees.
Yeah.
And so it's a good balance off.
Yeah, I think so too.
And also people can see that I'm not biased in any way. It's just a matter of what's fair.
Yep. Hello, Brent. What's your question for Max?
Hey, Brent.
Kia ora kouroa.
Kia ora, kia ora.
G'day, Max. How are you going?
Good, mate. I'm looking forward to what's happening.
Max, can I throw down a scenario for you, please?
You can throw it down. Is it real?
There's some, yes, that's real.
All right.
The scenario is, I'm under contract to work 2,000 hours a year. I work the full 2,000 hours without my holiday pay.
Oh, where?
Getting taken off the 2,000 hours. You know, if I do 2,000 hours out of those 2,000 hours, the holidays come off that.
All right. The key word you just said before, I'm under contract. So you're not an employee, are you?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Whoa.
So he's PAYE.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that makes a big difference. If you PAYE and you are an employee, then you're entitled to holiday pay on top of your wages.
On top of, is that on, so just for instance, say the 2,000 hours, and you know you got your holiday pay, which is probably 160 hours a year of their month, you know.
Yeah, what's that, 40 hours time 8, times, it's
times
4, 4, 16, yep.
16, yep. But we've worked the whole 2,000 hours without that 160 hours coming off.
Well, see, it's very unusual, Brent, to calculate it by hours. I mean, we do that. I used to do it in my apprenticeship, is work so many hours. But to do your pay on an hourly basis and count the number of hours, what's your contract actually say? Is this your terminology or theirs? It sounds like theirs.
You know, it's called annualised hours.
I've never heard of it.
No. Well, the where the law sits with this, you should be paid for every hour you work. You can work a salary, and that's. But whatever happens, even with a salary or even wages, you've got to get paid your holiday pay on top of that.
On top of.
So even if he's done his 2,000 hours,
Yeah.
there's holiday pay on top of that.
Well, I would think so, but look, I'm probably guessing this,
Right.
Leah, that they probably out of the 2,000 hours.
They're trying to take it in, amalgamate it into the 2,000
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
But he didn't take holidays.
You know, it'd be interesting, Brent, is to know what you're offered. If you were offered 2,000 hours of work a year on pay, then they're not paying you right.
Yeah.
Do you recall?
Sorry?
What did they offer you when you started the job?
My 2,000 hours.
Work.
And done the full 2,000 hours
In a year.
in a year, yes.
I'd love to see your contract. This is interesting, and as Leah says, it's very unusual. So
You might, Brent. You might have to give Max a call because I think I might have stumped him just over the phone.
shall I give him a number?
Yeah, you can give your number.
Oh, she's allowed.
Oh, you're allowed. I'm
Right,
allowed.
stand by for this, Brent. All right, you ready? 0800 24/7 93 93.
0800 24/7 93 93.
Oh, you do that so well. And
All right.
yeah, you can ring tomorrow, and it's free advice, free initial advice for anyone. Oh, no, I didn't say that, did I?
All right, Brent.
Stay there for a week.
Yeah, so 24/7 93 93.
Oh, you've got that off so well.
All right, my friend.
Thank you, Leah.
Appreciate it.
See you, Brent.
See you, mate. I look forward to
Gosh,
this call.
that is, you know what I'm actually learning though? There are so many different ways, obviously, for contracts, but 2,000 hours a year. What an
Yeah.
unusual way
Well,
of...
in my day, when I did an apprenticeship, you had to do so many hours. And then they'd work
yeah.
it through, it was roughly 6 months or 3 months.
Yeah.
But when you worked, you got paid an hourly rate.
Yes.
So, but you had to complete so many hours to get your apprenticeship. And actually, come to think of it, I think the holidays were concluded in that, but that's nothing to do with the pay. And I think Brent's, be interesting to see how the contract's drafted.
Melville, thank you for hanging on.
Oh,
What's
long
your
wait, Melville.
question for Max?
We're employed, we're contracted to the health board. Our award started in June, and we signed up for the agreement before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to this stage now, and our employer is not coming out with the money. And unless there's a date that it's to be paid on, there's not much we can do about it, is there?
Wow, this is pretty unusual. So let me just go through this again. You started at Christmas.
No,
June.
We started the negotiations last June.
Yep.
And we signed up to the agreement before Christmas, and we still haven't had our back pay or our rate to go up.
Right. If you've done the work and it was a contract to do the work, then you should be paid. It doesn't make a bit of sense here. It's all signed off and it's a health board job, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wonder why you're not being paid. Why are you saying back pay? Did you work for a period unpaid, did you?
No, we were just on the lower rate, and we're at the end of this month we'll be 2 rates behind, but the large Australian company hasn't come through with the money.
Well, then you lodge your wage arrears claim, but it's a little hard for me to understand this, but why is your rates changing?
Well, just in the agreement, it's going up in 3 stages.
Oh, I see.
Oh, right, because they negotiated last June and then they signed before Christmas to this new rate, Melville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you agreed that it would go up in 3 different increments.
Yeah, that was part of the
right. And you've had
agreement.
nothing.
No.
Wow.
But you are still working for this company, or you've done?
Yeah.
Have you got things in writing?
Well, I don't know whether they've got a date. Yeah, well, the agreement's been signed,
But it's written all down. Good on you, Leah, for interpreting this, because I was struggling.
Just thumbing their nose, that's all really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, again, you can give me a bell tomorrow or email it to me, and I'm not going to charge you, just have a look at it and advise you. But I would think if they haven't complied with that agreement, you go back at them and say, well, cough up or else.
Yes.
Well, they can't even give us a definite date,
How many of you?
Probably 2,000 or 3,000.
People.
They're a union.
Yeah. Yeah.
Max will take all of your emails tomorrow.
Well, we've
3,000.
Union, but
yeah,
that's just our predicament.
So, Melville, don't do this on your own. Get a whole lot of signatures if you're going to go after them, because you don't want to be isolated and suddenly out the door because you've stirred up trouble. Go with your mates to come with you. But what you want to do is send it off, the contract, to someone like me.
Yeah.
I'll give you some written advice and you can advise your mates.
How's that sound, Melville?
Thank you very much.
So just look up get on the internet, you can do that, just look up Max Whitehead.
Okay.
And that'll get me, or otherwise phone me on 0800 247 93 93.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good, yeah, I look forward to hearing from you tomorrow, Melvin.
See you. How many of there are you? 3,000.
I thought he was going to say 2 or 3.
2,000 or 3,000
There was
people.
a pause, 2, and oh yes, 2. 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
It has been a good night for amazing
Goodness
stuff.
me. 0800 844 747 is the number. So there you go. If you had a few of them, but look, still a bit of time before 10 if you have any questions for Max. I've got a couple of texts we can come back to, but we'd love to hear from you as well.
Nights with Leo Parnapper.
0800 844 747.
Magic Talk.
It's coming up 13 to 10 here at Magic Talk. Leo Parnapper with you through till 11. And I'm joined by Max Whitehead from the Whitehead Group, as I do every Wednesday.
Wednesday night. Wicked Wednesday with
Wicked
Whitehead.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
We've got, in the next 12 minutes, you've got time to squeeze in.
Grab it in while it's free, folks.
Grab it. Grab the spot if you've got any questions
That
about
time's ticking.
employment. I've got a good text for you, though. I'll give out the number, 0800 844 747. Hi, Max. I'm a self-employed electrician, 6 years as a limited company, who did a job for a construction company who has recently gone into receivership. Sadly, this is happening all over the place.
It is.
Guess there's not much I can do apart from waiting for the process into liquidation, where there will be nothing left after the IRD, etc. Frustrating as he is a wealthy person who has other companies going and has started up another construction company to carry on as well.
Wow, we hear this so often,
This
and
is
it
happening
is
a
bad.
lot.
It is bad.
There's no protection for
Now,
them,
I'm
is
not
there?
an expert in this particular field, but I thought they passed legislation. But I know those guys got their tools out recently from that other construction company.
the other big
that went
one,
down.
yeah.
Yep. At least they got their tools out. My only advice is, and again, I'm no expert in this matter, but register the debt with the liquidator, because then you'll go into the list of creditors that, hopefully you get something out of it. The troubles of liquidators that they get first cut. So what they do is, if they liquidate, that means, sell off some goods or whatever and got some cash sitting in the bank,
Yep.
they take their fee first.
Oh, for goodness
And
sake.
guess who decides on their fee? They do. So it can
So
be
they
quite
take-
lucrative
yeah,
job
right.
for a liquidator, and then what's left, they go back to you people and say, look, we can try and get it for you, or would you like to get 15 cents and $1? At least you'll get something.
Because there's otherwise there's no legal recourse, is there? There's nothing they
Well, no, I don't want to advise on that, but I
Right,
think virtually,
okay.
because I think you saw Jenny Shipley recently, so I'm a little bit curious what can happen to, directors who poorly run a business.
can... Yes. So I hope that helps you. There was no name, but basically you might have already done it. Register your company
Yep.
with a liquidator.
And go and talk to a financial expert as well. This is a bit outside my league here. So and get some advice in terms of what you can do. But look, I think it's the stories I hear over and over.
terrible.
People just
What
walk
was there
away.
another one yesterday, the day before? Arrow? Another
Arrow,
one?
that was done. Yeah, and that's another big organisation. Why are they collapsing? I heard today it's because of the Labor. They're not the Labor Party,
Yeah.
but Labor, because their employees, they put a tender in for a job,
Yes.
and then they find
They
out.
undercut.
Yep.
So they sell it off, and the fact that they know fully well, they probably don't know fully well, they must know, that they're not going to be able to bring it in.
Well, no,
At
I
that
understand
cost,
that
isn't
the
it?
contractors are going, hey, I can get more doing Kiwi Build or something. I'm going to go off there. Can you
right.
match their rate? And they go, oh, we can push a little bit. There's a little bit of margin there. And then they go, no, we can't do it. We're running a loss.
Okay. So, yeah, hopefully whoever texts in, that's really all that Max can suggest, because he
Yep.
doesn't want to go too far into
No,
it.
it's outside my area
jurisdiction?
to some degree. Ooh, jurisdiction.
Tanya, hello. What is your question for Max?
Hi, Tanya.
Oh, hi there. Just a quick question. Just a little over a year ago, I got a pay increase, and after about 4 months, they discovered that it was an incorrect an amount,
Yep.
and so it was taken off me after about 4 months. And then late last year, I got that same increase again, and I queried it with 2 supervisors, and they said that it was correct. But I'm just wondering, why was it not good enough?
The first time round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why were you deducted the? So how long were you paid for on the new rate the
4
first
months,
time?
was it?
4 months.
4 months.
And then they took off.
They called me in and
Said, "Oh, look,
that
sorry."
it was, paid incorrectly.
And then your pay dropped down again, I gather.
Yes, back
For how
to
long?
normal. Back to normal for about nearly a year. And then
Went up again.
Probably not less than a year.
Right.
And then late December last year,
Yeah.
I got the same increase, and it's
Tell me, Tanya, when you first got the increase, was there anything given to you in writing?
yes.
So why did they cut it back? Did they give you any justification? You're I can tell in your voice, you're a very agreeable person. Did you agree to forego it?
When they took it off me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And
So what was your explanation?
Yeah,
Sorry, the
exactly.
accounts did it wrong, or
I just can't recall.
your contract
the
doesn't kick in
letter.
until December?
It just said that it was calculated incorrectly, and there was about 6 of us that were affected, and so I just kind of left it.
Yeah, I can tell. You're a nice person and don't want to cause ripples. That's a bit of a shame. You probably had an entitlement to it.
My middle name is Ripples.
Is it?
No.
Why is it good enough now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So did they award you an increase, or did it just suddenly pour into your bank account again?
Well, they gave us an increase. Basically, they were bringing everyone up to the minimum wage.
Oh.
So there was, but like bringing everyone into line. So, and it was quite a substantial increase. I mean, it was around.
Yeah, don't have to disclose it.
Yeah, so it was quite big, and
Yeah.
that's why I queried it with two supervisors. And I said, this happened to me a year ago, and I just want to know.
Do I keep this one?
Yes. And good on you for doing that. But, I mean, you're last in that job because you've agreed to go take that pay cut. But if you hadn't have, they would have actually had to honour it and carry on paying you. But, I mean, you've survived and you've still got the job. And look what they've done now. They've brought you back up. So, obviously, they do value you.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
So how many pays have you had, Tanya, on the new rate? When did that kick in again?
4, I'm paid monthly. So
Okay.
November, December, January,
Right.
February.
And no one's come to you again after that magic 4-month period and gone, whoops.
That every month there was
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
this amount deducted.
Oh, gosh.
They told me the first round that it would take a few months for it to take effect.
What kind of Mickey Mouse outfit is this?
Let me tell you the story. I think it was Air New Zealand. This guy got a big increase, and he went to them and said, "Look, it seems like a bit excessive." And they go, "No, it's right." So and then he emailed them. He said, "Look, I'm sure it's not right because it seems quite a big." No, it's right. So that was fine. He went. This is the pay department, and on the third occasion, no, it wasn't the third occasion. They came to him. "Hey, we've overpaid you. We want that money back," and it was a substantive amount. And he goes, "No, I gave you 3 times. I'm keeping it." And so then they said, "Right, we're taking you to the judiciary." So they did. And guess what?
He won.
He won. Because he gave them so many opportunities.
To take the money back.
Yeah. And he was honest and upfront.
You know why on this occasion I queried it with my boss and a supervisor, and I said, is it correct this time, And they said, yes.
You're a lovely person, you can tell. But unfortunately, as soon as you agree to going back at Cape, it's like a contract. You've agreed to terms, and that's a shame in a way, unless you're under duress. Were you under duress at the time?
He's trying.
Trying hard, yeah, I know.
Okay, so moving on forward, Tanya, you've had 4 months, 4 pays of this new rate. And as you said, you must be living each time for the payday going, it's going to be different.
I'm so scared that it's
I know, it's terrible. So Max, from now on, if they come to and pull this stunt again,
I'll come to me.
Yeah, she can go, no, hang on, you did that last year and we're now on this.
Yes, if your pay has been at that rate for a reasonable period of time and you've got evidence of the pay increase, like they gave you notice, it's yours, baby. You just hang on to it tight. And if they want to take it off, you come and get some advice.
Okay.
Lovely to talk to you. What a nice person, and good luck with the future.
Good luck.
You'll be a good employee. I guarantee they value you lots because of your attitude.
Good on you, Tanya.
I've just done 30 years there, so...
Wow, 30 years. That's my age.
30 years. And but 30 years and then they stuffed up your pay.
Yeah, thanks
Anyway,
very much.
but Tanya, look, good luck, and don't let it go down again. Don't agree.
No.
Good on you.
Auntie Leah, good on you. Yeah, good advice.
How can they? Yeah. Anyway, look, before we got about 4 minutes, and we'll go to a text. Max, how does restraint of trade work now that things are not geographical? What does it mean that things are not geographical?
Some restraint of trades were saying in the past.
Yes.
What they used to say is like you're restrained from working within
in
5
Auckland.
kilometres or something like that, or within Auckland. Yeah, that could be right. It could be anywhere. Sort of those sort of factors. But what I think this text is saying is, look, now you communicate. You can do sort of work online and talk to someone in the South Island as easy as you can, and get on the blower and just courier something off. I'm guessing that's what they're meaning. I don't often see geographical constraints out there anymore. But if you're there, Texa, if you do have a geographical restraint and it is in your contract and you've agreed to it, it could be enforceable. So just don't be too, quick to breach and go over the boundary.
So in this line of work, we have restrainer trades on us.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yep, so that we can't go to another station. And they normally try and hold us to 3 months. Sometimes it's longer, depending on who you are.
And that's quite regular. But
then how can an employer who will not be your employer, if you leave them, how can they stop you from earning a living for 3 months?
That's not the criteria.
Right.
If they're doing it just purely to stop you from leaving or earning a living.
To stop you from popping up somewhere else?
They've got to, the employer's got to say that they've got some reason for doing it, for restraining you. For example, there's you know something, and that information is very valuable to them. You've learnt a lot of information to them, and you could take it to the opposition and
what,
part
and
it
in
to
3
them.
months' time I can't?
Well, in 3 months'
I won't,
time you can.
I would have lost it and not be able to tell the opposition anything. Sorry, I knew a lot, but I lost it in the last 3 months.
Well, they'll give you a bottle of gin to drink, so they might wash it away.
So a restraint of trade is clad.
Yeah, not always. It's contestable quite often, but today they're becoming more and more because actually employers are drafting them a lot smarter than they used to in the past. So they are enforceable. So a lot of employees today just, whatever, restraints aren't enforceable. They are. You could be very, very careful on them. Not all of them. So again, the employer's got to have some proprietary interest that they want to actually protect. That's the legal word, proprietary interest.
Okay.
And once they've done that and there's a proven contract and you weren't put under duress to sign it, then you got to do it. You know, employers actually have to give you value for actually restraining you, money, generally. So if they put it, if you're halfway through your term and the boss says, I'm putting a restraint in your contract, you got to say, well, it's going to cost you, boss. If you don't want me to work for 3 months, well, I want 3 months' pay added.
Well, that was kind of what I was getting at. You can ask for that.
You can ask for that.
But that's not legal.
No, what they do is they put it in your contract when you start, and they go, oh, your salary was made up of that little extra.
Ah, right.
So be wary. And I don't like the restraint. So people send me their contracts to check.
I bet. And you put them in there. You try and get them out of them.
Well, I say it's not compulsory. You can ask for it to go and be really wary of it because you could be out of work for a period of time.
If you said, I don't want it in there and they refuse, I mean, obviously you might not get the job.
Yeah, it's like 90-day trial periods. You don't actually have to have them in your contract either. But if you refuse...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there's a better candidate.
Yes.
Thank you for your application.
A lot to learn. I learn every Wednesday.
I reckon you know a lot already.
I've been around a bit, Max. Our time is up.
What, already?
I know, you say that every time you look at your watch and look so forlorn.
Sad. So sad.
Max Whitehead from the Whitehead Group will be joining me again this time next Wednesday. So thank you for your calls and texts, and any problems again, back with Max.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you for
Wednesday
our lovely producer. And good night, everybody.